Here's another LG demo that they use to demo their screens on the when you go and look at the TVs at the store. Yeah, the colors look really good. Blue yellow, blue green. That's like lavender, blue, and aqua. That looks amazing right there. Contrast is really good on this projector when you have something bright and something dark. I have watched a couple of shows, some dark superhero shows, and kind of like a Batman type of show. And if there is a lot of dark scene and not a lot of light coming in, the contrast is not as good. But it still looks it looks good, I think. But not the best like when you like stuff like this where you have a lot of light and dark at the same time. But look at how sharp it is. It's still bright even though I lowered my my brightness. What I noticed that if I increase my brightness, the black actually becomes a little bit more faded. And when the black is more faded and you have color, it's kind of weird. Like there's not a lot in the same amount of contrast. So actually by having the brightness lower and actually even my contrast lower, I was able to have more of that difference between the, you know, when you have black and like another color. Yeah, this is my favorite when that happens right there. I mean, it's not OLED black, but it's pretty good. It's better than my first generation 4K TV, which is a Samsung. I bought it about 3 years ago, probably like a year after 4K TVs came out. This looks actually better. Yeah, but the stereo system too, that makes a big difference. I mean, so if you get anything like this, just make sure you get a really good stereo system. Get something a little bit better than what you thought you were going to get, because you can always add more speakers. You can always upgrade your speakers. But once you get your receiver, which is probably the highest thing you're going to purchase besides the projector, all the other stuff you can always add in the future. So I mean, I went pretty much all out and I bought the whole setup. I have a Atmos system, like I mentioned before. It's a 9.1. In the future, no, actually, no, 7.1. But in the future, I may make it into a 9.1. I'm still debating right now because there isn't a lot of stuff that's being produced with that quality. A lot of movies only support up to a certain amount of speakers. So, but the wiring is set. My receiver can do, I think, 11.1, or I can do 9.1 with two subwoofers. So, like I said, the link for the major components are down there in case you guys want to buy them. And the other suggestion that I always make is make sure you buy a good streaming media player. I ended up buying the NVIDIA Shield, and I really, really like it. I like the interface. This is the interface. Let's see, like that. Really easy. You can arrange everything. I mean, it's so simple. And because it has a really good processor, and I think because of the cost, they're able to put a lot more hardware that's faster, and they're just able to spend more money in development. Plus, it's NVIDIA. I mean, they're known for graphic cards, so they're not going to put something crappy out there. And this is like the top of the line, so I really recommend a premium. If you're going to spend this much, buy a premium streaming device. I haven't tested. I have an old Xbox and it's not great. It's still 1080p. Maybe, I don't know if the new Xbox that just came out, the X, might be good, or the new Sony PlayStation that might be coming out. But I have other streaming devices. I have the Amazon Stick 4K. I have the Air TV, and this is the best. And then the other pointer I guess that I would give is make sure everything's wired. Don't do any wireless connections to any streaming device I'm pretty sure you already know if you're into gaming. Everything, get a hub, a router, or something like that that has extra ports, and make sure you get some good quality network cables, and then good quality HDMI cables. If you're running a long run like I did for my HDMI, I ended up getting a fiber optic HDMI cable. It does cost maybe about 3 times more, but it's only one cable I need to run from the receiver all the way in the back to my projector, because all the other ones are shorter cables, so those can be, they don't have to be fiber optic. But I still would get some good quality cables depending on what you're doing, what kind of devices you have. The same thing I did with my speakers. I went like one higher because of the long cable wire layout, that I had in place. So as I mentioned, and I think in some previous video, I went up with a wire that's a little bit thicker than normal. And supposedly that's supposed to help with resistance, and I don't know all the technical terminology, but it only cost me, I think it was maybe 40 or 50% more for that wire. I think it's a 12 gauge wire. So I just ended up spending, it's not something I'm going to be doing all the time, and running cable. It's not like I'm going to be running cable again in the near future. So might as well future proof my setup.